Hello journaling friends, and welcome to my quiet and cozy little space. Today I thought I would do another little flip through with you. I did one several videos ago just for the months of January and February, and also showing like the start of my journal. So today I thought I would move on to March and April. I know we're already into September at the moment, but as I mentioned in my previous video, I didn't want to sit and do, January through to August because we'd be here for hours. So I thought I'd just move on to the next couple of months and walk through what I like to do in my journal. So this year I am journaling in the Hobonichi Techo Cousin, which is the same as what I was using for last year as well. Last year I didn't really use all of the sections, whereas this year I'm journaling in all of the sections. So I'm just going to kick it off before I start waffling. So this is the start of my journal. I do have the candy floss cover, which I absolutely still love just because of the whole pink and yellow combo. In my recent Hobonichi order, I didn't grab a new cover, even though I love the Moomin covers. I didn't get one purely for the sake of just getting it because it's Moomin. Plus, I still really love my candy floss one. So, yeah, that's just inside, keeping a few little things in here that are sentimental to me. A little note from a friend, my recent stamp rally, I guess you could say, acquisition when I was in Finland from the Moomin shops. And yeah, just a few other bits and pieces. A Moomin sticker. I did pick up quite the selection of stickers while I was in Finland. And then on the cover, I'm just basically sticking on little stickers that, I'm picking up throughout the year that I really love. With the intention of this being fully covered. I mean, it's almost already fully covered, but yeah, with the intention of it being fully covered by the end of the year. I think since my last flip through, I've added this little sticker from Nina Aoki. It's part of Nina's Craft Girls selection, and a little Moomin sticker that I picked up in Finland. So the inside cover, I don't know if I have anything new on. Oh, yes, I do. One of the Craft Girl stickers from Nina's selection again, and a Yumi Kitagishi sticker that I got in my Hobonichi haul, which I do have a video of that coming up as well. Oh, and also another little Moomin sticker there. I think that's all I've added to this since my last. Oh, and Moomin washi tape as well, which I picked up when I was in Finland. So again, this will be all full by the end of the year. And then I'm pretty sure I've added the stamp, the Moomin stamp that I got in Finland, a little ephemera of, probably having trouble getting my words together today because I just spent the last 2 days photographing weddings, and it's a lot of people and a lot of talking. Like, I'm pretty much talking the whole time I'm at weddings because, I'm socializing with everyone as well. And obviously the couple. So yeah, the last two were the two weddings that I photographed on the weekend were super sociable. So I do find it hard to find my words after I've been peopling that much. So apologies. I probably could have picked a different day to do this, but whatever. It's a beautiful Sunday. I've got the day to do whatever I like, and this is just what I felt like doing. So yeah, apologies in advance. I know I don't need to apologize, but there might be some moments where I'm struggling to find my words, and I'm just letting you know that is why. So ephemera off the sticker roll that I bought from in the Hobonichi launch. I do show this in my haul video, but anyway, I'll give you a little look at it now. So that sticker came off the packaging, and as we know, none of that gets wasted with me. I absolutely love Yumi Kitagishi. I just cannot get enough of their illustrations. Oh, and a little Moomin shop sticker. Oh, and sorry, I'm just like realizing now what's here. Okay, so hang on. Moomin stamp, Moomin sticker from Finland, as well as the Moomin shop sticker. Craft Girls washi tape from Nina and Yumi Kitagishi ephemera. And This is off my, I can't remember what they're called. It's a Japanese calendar. I've forgotten the name of it. Again, see what I mean? Words will escape me today. Anyway, it's off my Moomin, my Japanese Moomin like daily flip calendar. It's on my wall. Anyway, that's that. And that's also off Moomin stickers that I got in Finland. So in my yearly spread, I mentioned before that I do a little, what I call a soul nourishment list of things that I want to do or not do every day, pretty much just for my well-being. And so, yeah, I've continued that on for this month. These missing spots here were when I was in Finland, because I wasn't in my journal every single day and there's no way I could remember like days later what I did or didn't do. So for this month, I have changed it up a little bit from last time. I've added on, sorry about the noises. I took off something and I've added on no sugar. I'm really trying to avoid eating processed food and sugar at the moment. I go okay with that. But yeah, pretty much everything else, like not looking at my phone in the morning. Oh, that's right. I added Japanese practice as well. So I finally started trying to learn hiragana. So trying to just do a little bit of Japanese practice every day, just 10 minutes. 10 minutes is ample. I'm not going to be speaking Japanese anytime soon. It's probably going to take me 10 years to get a sentence together, but I just want to practice a little bit every day. So yeah, they're just things that I try to do. Haven't been able to read my book because I've got a book on hold at the library, and I just got the notification yesterday that it's arrived. So I will go to the library tomorrow to pick it up, and the read my book column will be fully highlighted every day once I get that book. I'm in a book club with a friend of mine, Helen, and so I didn't want to read another book until I got that one, as that's the one we're reading next. Anyway. And then I'm just going to show you my March and April monthly spread since I showed you January, February last time. So this was March. I had just come back from Japan, or I was in Japan for the first few days into March. And so I still was very much in Japan mindset, I guess. My headspace was very much still full of everything Japanese. So this has very much a Japanese influence, which does all of my journal, to be fair. So there's a lot of ephemera in here. Some chocolate wrappers. Of course, my Peko-chan milky favourite lollies always make an appearance. There's some ephemera from washi tapes, other ephemera from food, some stickers, some paper, more ephemera. As I've mentioned before, I'm loving these Mizutama Daily Life series stickers. So, of course, they got a mention. So some of these days do have a connection or like a bit of a memory of what I was doing as well. This day was super special for me with the people that I was spending time with on that day in Japan. So, yeah. And same with this day. So, yeah, some of these do have, kind of like a memory keeping element for me, and then other days or other parts of it, it's just a mishmash of ephemera and things that I find cute. And then for April is pretty much the same thing. Some Muji ephemera, some of my favourite bits of stationery, a bit of a sticker from Family Mart. Sometimes I'll be just journaling and rummaging through my ephemera or stationery, and I'll just remember that I had this spread that was yellow and green and come across a little bit of green Family Mart tape, so in it goes. Not always thought out, but sometimes it is. Sometimes there are little elements that are planned, if that makes sense. Just making use of ephemera that I've got left over as well, and some cute stickers. So yeah, this spread, obviously I wanted it to have like a very pinkish kind of look to it, and this one was yellow with little pops of green. Trying out different colour combos basically. So that's all I'm going to show you for monthly, because I'll do May and June in my next flip through. And then we'll go on to my weeklies. So my weekly pages are a little bit more memory keeping than the monthlies. I do put little reminders, little moments in here that I want to remember, combined with ephemera, obviously. So like on this day, I was actually, I guess you could say, decorating my home. And there was IKEA items and Marimekko items making an appearance. So, you know, just little bits of ephemera kept from those things as my reminders, or memories rather. I've got some stickers that friends have given me. And when I came back from Japan, my friend Flossie picked me up from the airport in the middle of the night, might I add, bless her. And when I got in her car, she had her, I think it was her school ID of some sort, and she had it stuck to the dashboard, which was super cute. So I wrote here, the cutest Uber driver you ever did see. And then I've just got some Moomin stickers, some Japanese ephemera, of course. Oh, and these are just, this was a printable from Susanna V. Bryant. Their printables are so colourful, so I often like to make use of, the different, shapes and illustrations that they have in all the different colours. And this meme I really loved, just really tickled me. Stop normalising the grind and normalise whatever this is. And I am all for this. This is pretty much my existence, is trying to, not get stuck in the grind and get more into enjoying really simple moments. So that's pretty much me on the daily. These little things here are actually, I'm using this hole punch that I got from, I think I got it from Daiso. I'm pretty sure it was from Daiso. And I, again, just get some of the printables from Susanna V. Bryant and I punch little flower-shaped bits out. So, yeah. Oh, there's another one there. I've just covered up some things with little Post-its because, there's photos in here that I want to keep to myself. Another little picture that I found on Instagram. I don't know if you can see that very well. It says, I don't know, I think we're just lucky to experience it. I mean, all of it. I don't know if you can see that, but there's a cat sitting on the table, which my cat does that, naughty boy, looking at birds or something in a tree. Must be birds. My cat does that too. And then the person's just sitting there with what looks like could be their breakfast or lunch or whatever. And that is pretty much me and my cat. Just sitting there, although I'm not at the dining table. I'm always eating my lunch and dinner at my coffee table. But my cat is always there right next to me or near me. And often he's watching birds out the window. It really resonated with me because I had just come back from my trip and I was back with my cat and there was a lot of this happening. So I've just got some ephemera from some Japanese stationery, some Moomin washi, more printables from Susanna V. Bryant. Same with that. Yumi Kitagishi, of course. And then I love this one. This one pops up every so often on my Instagram. My favourite part of the day is when I'm in bed like this. That feeling when you're like snuggled in bed with the blanket pulled up. So I've just written there, how good is bedtime? So good. And settling into home feels, because this week was very much me getting settled at home, into my home. And more printables from Susanna V. Bryant. And again, I've just covered up a photo here. And a couple of little photos that I printed of just meals, because my morning coffee sitting at the table in the morning, my dog and my cat are there. I've always opened the curtains and the blinds, so it's really sunny in my lounge room where I'm having my breakfast when it's sunny. And I don't know, this is just a very peaceful moment for me in the mornings, having my coffee and just taking a moment to sit in the quiet and the still of the morning, I guess. So I took a photo of that, and as I was going through my camera roll, I saw it and it just brings me peace. and just some of my favourite washi tape, some stationery from Mizutama, a reminder, don't be too busy. I like to remind myself that actually appears throughout my journal every so often. Just as a little reminder, it's okay to not be too busy. I'm getting there. A Mormon stamp. This one. So in praise of voice notes. My friend Flossie and I, we send each other voice notes and they're often 10, 20 minutes in length. Sometimes there'll be shorter ones, but there'll be, a sequence of like 5 or 6 voice memos back to back. And I love them. I love receiving them from Flossie. I love just hearing, whatever she's up to, things that she's come across, things that she's seen, things that are bringing her joy. Often she'll send videos or photos of her rabbits. It's just those simple little things. I think because I am so introverted and I spend a lot of time at home on my own, like a lot, the voice memos from Flossie are kind of, my socializing, I guess, for the day on a lot of days. We have had conversations about not apologizing, because, obviously it will only be natural for us to apologize, sorry, incoming voice memo. We call it a podcast because it ends up being, they end up being quite lengthy. So often we'll start off apologizing and we've made a pact that we're not going to apologize and we're just going to send whatever we want to send. There are no restrictions. Anyway, so I can't remember if Flossie actually sent me this or I just came across it. She did send it to me, I remember now. It reads, in praise of voice notes. Are you a text or call person? Is a binary question. I'm a voice note person. Give me all your meandering, your uncertainty, your riskiest humour. I love that. Give me the short story long, the one thing and the other thing I must know before I know the main thing. Serve it with a side of white noise, your fan whirring in the background, your dog barking in the distance, your tea coming to a boil. Give me your voice underscored by your life. How good is that? If you're into voice notes, I know that you would appreciate exactly what that says. So Flossie sent that to me and I remember taking a screenshot of it and I love it. It's my little reminder that I can be as unfiltered as I want when it comes to voice notes with Flossie. I'm pretty sure I have sent her some unhinged stuff. Absolutely no judgment from Flossie and it goes both ways. So I've just covered up a little bit of, this half of this page is covered in writing and I really don't want to share it because it's just personal. I really love this illustration that I got from Susanna V. Bryant's printables. It says, in my own little world, and this really resonated with me at this particular time. I was setting up my home after just getting back from Japan and I'm very, careful about keeping my, I don't know how to articulate this without sounding like I'm very self-centered. I'm just very careful about, or I'm very aware of what's around me. And sometimes I like to kind of retreat into my own little world to keep myself quiet and not get too caught up in things that I know won't benefit or be good for my well-being. That's probably the best way I can explain that. Anyway, I just felt like this illustration really resonated with me at that time, and even now I still try and just maintain that level of being carefully aware of what's going on around me but not getting too caught up in it. That's probably the best way to put it. And then I've just got some ephemera from some stickers that I found in a drawer, and I think I've spoken about this before in a previous video. This little quote says, "A handwritten letter is a quiet rebellion against a fast and forgetful world. It says, I slowed down for you. Each stroke of the pen is a gesture of care, a whisper of presence, a way of saying you matter enough for this." I really love that. I'm really big on handwritten letters. So if you've seen any of my other videos where I have opened Happy Mail, in particular from my pen pal Zoe, I'm trying to get more into this now. I do also send postcards when I'm overseas to family and friends. I think when I was in Finland last month, I sent 11 postcards, I think. There's actually a couple that I didn't get to send and I still have them even though I'm home. I will actually post them because I've taken the time to write them. But yeah, I love a handwritten letter. And then, this was just me, this was my new desk space that I was setting up. It's still a work in progress. The printables that I was talking about earlier, some stickers that kind of just, again, me just pottering around with my plants. And then I found this quote. I don't know if I've spoken about this before. No, I don't know. Anyway, I'm going to read it out. I go in and out, don't you? Into flow and gratitude and out of it again. Into grief and hopelessness and out of it again. Into routine, cooking, walks, connection, and then into bed, the bath, my head, my tears. These days call for the ability to sway into reality, sway into empathy, and back again. Dip toes into fear, anxiety, awareness, and rest in creativity, distraction, comfort. We go in and out, like tides creating our own slow rhythms, finding the pulse of survival. Written by Alex Klingenberg. I hope I'm pronouncing that name properly. How lovely is that? It's such a gentle reminder, which I often feel I need, because when I'm having moments where, for whatever reason, I don't want to say struggling, but I'm having a not so great moment, I can tend to get caught up in that and feel like it is really a struggle. But I think words like this would just remind me that we do flow in and out of it, of both sides of life. So yeah, it's probably a little bit deep, but I love it. And that's why I actually felt like writing it out as well, rather than just printing the quote. And I actually wrote this with my fountain pen. This is my first fountain pen that I've bought, this Kokuno, and I'm still learning how to use it properly, but I used it to write that and I really loved it. Like, I find it makes my handwriting much nicer than if I just use my friction ballpoint. I'm just going to cover this up because there's a lot of writing there that I again just want to keep to myself. So this week was a lot of being at home, which is, let's face it, pretty much every week for me. Feeding my cottage cheese addiction. I am on a high protein diet and cottage cheese has a lot of protein, so I'm not mad about it. There was a stage, I think, at this point where it was getting put on every single meal that I was having. I've settled down with that now. My friend Jonathan sent this Mary Oliver poem. I think it's one of his favourite poems to me a while ago, but I came across it in my camera roll, so I printed it out for myself. It reads, "How I go to the woods. Ordinarily, I go to the woods alone with not a single friend, for they are all smilers and talkers and therefore unsuitable. I don't really want to be a witness talking to the catbirds or hugging the old black oak tree. I have my way of praying, as you no doubt have yours. Besides, when I am alone, I can become invisible. I can sit on top of a dune as motionless as an uprise of weeds until the foxes run by unconcerned. I can hear the almost unhearable sound of the roses singing. If you have ever gone to the woods with me, I must love you very much." How sweet is that? So needless to say, now thank you to Jonathan, that this is also one of my favourite poems. So I love when friends share these things with me. Jonathan and I have a very special friendship and we get each other very much so. So I know he was sharing this with me with the intention of, it being his favourite poem, but also he knew that I would be able to relate to that, definitely. And then over here we have these, what I feel are very appropriate words for me. Again, could just resonate. A lot of what I put in here is just stuff that I've read or seen or people have sent me that just resonates for me. Introverts don't wake up, we defrost. Okay, let me just preface this by saying I never understood why in the mornings I just need an hour to myself. I don't want to talk. I don't want to go anywhere. Like if a friend invites me to breakfast, for like 8 o'clock at a cafe, that just means I have to get up at 6 o'clock to have my hour of quiet. You know what I mean? And I am not a morning person. For a long time, for years, I didn't understand why I inherently needed that 1 hour in the morning to just have quiet and just have my coffee and just sit still. I don't look at my phone. I don't read my book. I just sit there. It's not always an hour. It could be half an hour. But I need that time and space in the morning. Anyway, this explains it. Introverts don't wake up. We defrost. Give us an hour, some coffee and complete silence. No questions, no bright lights, no loud voices. Let us stare into the void for a bit. scroll aimlessly, and overthink a life decision or two, then maybe we'll consider being human. Or at least replying to that one text from 3 days ago. Patience, we are buffering. I freaking love this. Like, this is me, except for the aimless scrolling aimlessly. I definitely avoid doing that in the mornings. That's just for my own, my headspace cannot deal with that. Yeah, I love that. That is me. I just need that time in the morning to myself. And I actually go to bed at night excited to get up for my morning coffee. Does anyone else, have that same kind of thought or feeling before bedtime? I definitely do. I have a filter coffee machine, and so at night I, get the filter part ready to get my coffee brewing in the morning. And as I'm doing that, I'm so excited because I know what's coming when I wake up. So yeah, again, very much love that. I've just got some 7-Eleven ephemera, some ephemera from Commodore's Coffee, and a bit of a chopstick packet there, and some stickers, and yeah, just a mishmash of orange stuff. A printable from Susanna V. Bryant, some ephemera, a couple of little quotes that I printed from Instagram. I love this one. I don't know, or it says Sophia Loren, I'm assuming it's correct. When I'm walking along in the street, I always feel that around the corner there is something wonderful waiting for me. That's my attitude. I love that. And I just came up with this myself. Engage in as much happy nonsense as you can. So this here, this journal for me, journaling, stationery, all of this is happy nonsense. That's what I call it. So yeah, I'm trying to engage in that as much as possible. On this day, I photographed my last wedding of the last season, so end of April, and then between then and now, I've just had 5 months off, which has been really lovely. But I am excited to get stuck back into weddings again now that the new season has kicked off, and I've just photographed 2 over the weekend, and they were, my heart is so full. They were amazing. Just the beautiful people that I get to meet and spend time with and document their most intimate and beautiful moments in life is just, it's really hard to put words to the gratitude that I feel. That sounds really cliche, but yeah, it's a pretty amazing job. Can't really call it a job because I'm literally just having fun being creative. But yeah, it's pretty amazing. So yeah, that was my last wedding of the season. And it was a fantastic wedding as well. I mean, they all are. So this is me just acknowledging and accepting the gratitude that I also from here on had 5 months to indulge in all of my creative endeavors, which was pretty amazing as well. I was very happy. And I feel like I did. I really got stuck into my journal in that time that I had off. I read a lot. Probably didn't read as much as I would like to have, but I think I was in my journal a lot more than I thought I would be. And obviously making videos for YouTube and engaging with like-minded creatives and journal lovers. So yeah, I did really dive into all of my creative hobbies over my break, which has been fantastic. And then this one, I feel like I probably will decorate this a little bit more. I'm not bothered that it's not as heavily decorated as other spreads, but yeah. Actually, no, I probably won't. It looks good. On this day, I posted my first ever YouTube video. I remember how terrifying that was. But I did it. So thank you if you watched the first one, and if you're still here, thank you so much. My cat actually escaped out of his harness. Oh, I do have a photo for this. I printed a photo. I forgot to stick it in here. I let my cat outside. Sometimes I'll sit and drink my coffee outside if it's warm enough in the morning, and I will put my cat into his harness and tie the harness up because he has escaped before and jumped the fence, which was terrifying. And on this particular day, he was off, I don't know, he's eating grass and roaming around the garden. So I thought, I'm just going to go inside and leave him. He'll be fine. And it was probably about half an hour later, I looked outside and his harness was there, but it was empty. It was the funniest sight, but also really scary. I think he was walking around a pot plant, and then it looked like the leash that obviously attaches the harness to where I'd tied him up was stuck under the pot. So he had wriggled his way out of the harness and he was just in my garden, just walking around. So yeah, when I first saw the harness without him in it, I did have a moment of panic because he, as I said, he has jumped the fence before. But he was there. I do have a photo to stick in here because the photo of the little empty harness with the leash wrapped around the pot plant is hilarious. I can laugh about it now. Another one of my little favourite pictures. Where do you see yourself in 5 years? Oh, absolutely dominating in my field. Me in my field. Like the other one with the character frolicking in the field. Yeah. That's the kind of field I want to be dominating, definitely. Some Japanese stationery. There's my cat, Rogie. In the afternoon, he curls up in this one spot on the couch because it gets a bit of sun streaming in through the window at a certain time of the day. And I will always find him there at that time of the day. It's so lovely. And then we get to the end of April. I stuck some Mormon stuff. Obviously, I bought this in August, but I went back into, as I mentioned before, I do flip back through my journal sometimes and find little empty spots to stick things. So because this page had a green and pink kind of look to it, I thought these little washi samples, swatches, looked good in here. On this day, I remember I've actually took a screenshot of this. And yeah, when I'm looking through my camera roll for things to put in my diary, I obviously come across things that I've screenshot from Instagram. And this was the Tiny Chef. Have you seen the Tiny Chef on Instagram? The Tiny Chef did a rendition of Billie Eilish's Bad Guy. And I swear I probably watched it about 20 times. It's the cutest thing ever. This deserved a screenshot on this day of that. It still pops up every now and again in my feed and I watch it again. Bit of a quote from Bjork. I'm not going to read it because it's long and I think I've been talking enough. Basically just talks about having a plan or a manifesto, an alternative in life. Yeah. And that's it for April. This is obviously going to start May off, so I will do that in my next flip through. And then I thought for the daily pages, rather than going through every single day, because this is going to be too long otherwise, and also there's a lot in my daily pages that I wouldn't be sharing anyway, I thought I would just share some of my favourite junk spreads. So this is a travel spread that I did when I was in Japan. I mean, I decorated the spread when I got home from Japan, but this was from when I was in Japan. And basically, I had spent the day going to a Japanese garden, which was so beautiful. There were like waterfalls and it was so peaceful. I have taken a lot of photos, but I have put them on a separate page. On this spread, I just wanted to decorate it with ephemera. So I've got a pamphlet that I picked up that just had this gorgeous artwork and I loved the colour and just the look of the whole thing really. And then I went out for a really nice lunch. After I spent ages just sitting in that Japanese garden, I actually had my notebook and I was like writing things into my journal there as well. So I ordered this really nice lunch and I was reading my book, and then I've got like the ephemera from the chopsticks packet here and the little swing tag off my cup of matcha, and receipt, the little entry slip to I went to a Tom and Jerry exhibition, which was so fun. It was really tapping back into childhood memories for me because I used to love Tom and Jerry as a kid. Is that even on anymore? Probably not. I mean, who even watches commercial telly anymore? Is it on any of the streaming? Oh my gosh, I'm going to try and see if it's on any of my streaming platforms. I feel like I would enjoy Tom and Jerry now as an adult. Anyway, that was the entry slip to that, and that was the entry slip to the Japanese garden. So, of course, I was keeping them. And obviously I saw this Kusama pumpkin sculpture. Of course, I was going to take a photo of that, so I've just cut that out and put that there. And yeah, just a bit of the Japanese garden brochure that I've used. Basically, this is just like a whole spread of ephemera and a couple of photos. So yeah, I really like this one. I like how it turned out. And then this spread is stationery, kind of like little samples, I guess, or swatches. I've swatched some washi tape, and then I've got some, what are they? They're like notepads, but with this really colourful sheets of illustrations, which I just love. I bought all these in Japan. They're like really nicely textured as well. Hang on, I'm going to grab one to show you what they look like. Like this. So these illustrations are by Suzuki Narumi. I think if I'm reading that correctly. Anyway, that's what the little notebook looks like. So they just have all these different pages of really cute illustrations. So yeah, I wanted to kind of like swatch them, I guess, or use them to decorate this page. Receipts from my lunch and my stationery haul from Tsutaya Books. Basically just, washi swatching and some stickers and a bit of ephemera from the packaging on my lunch. So I really like this one as well. It came out really colourful. I have mentioned before that I'm not really I don't want to hoard my washi and my stickers, but at the same time, as much as I want to do the washi swatching, I don't want to use up too much in one go. It sounds ridiculous. Anyway, I figured this was a cute way that I could do some swatching, but keep it really small so I'm not using up too much. So I do love looking at this because obviously I can remember now, what I bought on this particular day. And so this one is pretty much just Japanese ephemera. So we've got coffee cup, sugar packet, tag off some shoes that I bought, clothing label from Uniqlo, and yeah, just ephemera. You've probably noticed that my journal spreads are usually really super colourful. This one is unusual for me, but I don't hate it. I actually quite like it. Even though it's quite muted down and, sticking with just black, white and red. I like it. A little bit of pink in there, obviously. Again, this is just the edge of a little high chew packet that, ended up in my little tin of scraps. It wasn't going to go in the bin. And so it's just filled a spot there and added a bit of pink. Nothing fancy. Another black, red and white spread. With just lots of Muddy Mecca stuff. I had obviously just received a delivery of plates, hence why there are so many stickers on here. But as I was peeling them off the plates, I thought, you know what, they'll look cute in my journal. And I actually don't hate this. It's kind of, I don't know. It's messy. I like it. But again, very unusual for me to have just black and white. There's obviously a hint of red in there, hint of colour in there as well. Back to my full-on colour. This was just some brochures that I brought back with me from Japan and some tissue paper to fill in the page with some colour and some washi and stickers. Really simple. Keeping in with the colourful flower illustrations here, I've just stuck a heap of colourful flower stickers to complement that. And the washi tape also obviously suits that colour as well. And then we've got something like this. Absolutely zero effort went into this one, obviously. Pages from that calendar that I still can't remember. Anyway, super simple, nothing fancy. I mean, these pages, I don't want to throw them in the bin once I tear them off my calendar. So this just works end of March and the beginning page for April. I do like this diagram. Bless my tail, I do feel strong. And then we've just got some Peko-chan Milky packaging, lolly wrappers, complemented by Mizutama. Also ephemera off some stationery packaging that I bought when I was in Japan. Some stickers, a little bit of washi tape, just some cute ephemera and stickers and washi. This one is a little bit out of the ordinary for me. I just used some paper bags, logos, cutouts from brochures and whatnot to create a little Japanese typography, I guess you could call it, spread. Something a little bit different for me, but I really enjoyed putting this together, and I love how it turned out, even though it's not bright and colourful like my usual style. So the last one for today is another Peko-chan spread. We know Peko-chan makes a regular appearance in my journal, as does the pink and red combo. So I think that's enough for today. I've definitely been talking long enough. I hope you enjoyed my little flip through. It was fun actually going through February and March again. I do flip through my journal every few days really, and I kind of just go back and observe what I did and enjoy most of the pages. But it was fun going through it with you. I hope you enjoyed it. And if you have stuck around for this long, I don't know how long this video is going to be. I'm recording for over an hour, which is quite wild. But anyway, thank you so much for staying around if you have lasted this long. And also I was going to ask, if you wanted to say hi in the comments, let me know if there's anything in particular you would like to see. I did a how-to journal kind of thing for, I don't know, I guess people who are wanting to do some junk journaling but don't know where to start. I kept it very simple. I didn't get too much into what you could do in your junk journal. It's the first time I've done like a how-to kind of video, so this is all still very new to me as well. But I would love to hear what else you would maybe like to see here, and I'll see what I can do. Anyway, thank you again for stopping by, and it's been really fun sharing my journal with you. And I hope to see you again next time. Bye.